Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Bodhinyana Great Southern here in Albany, Western Australia. We're doing meditation and a short talk as part of the Corona daily meditations that Buddhist Society of WA are presenting. And you might be wondering where Bodhinyana Great Southern is in Albany. Well, it's about 14 minutes out of the Albany township, and it is in a rural setting. We've got 160 acres of bush here, so it's a forest. It's going to be a forest monastery. Haven't quite got to the monastery kind of stage yet with monks and stuff like that. I'm the only resident monk here, living in harmony with my Anagarika Patrick at the moment. Anagarika Patrick is from the Serpentine Monastery, where Ajahn Brahm is. So yes, today, Wednesday, 3rd of June, 2020, and it's 8:30 in the morning. We'll broadcast these later on in the afternoon once it all gets uploaded to YouTube. So Patrick was asking me before, what was my topic going to be about? Have I thought about a topic? Well, in our forest tradition, Ajahn Brahm has taught the monks, or encouraged the monks, to actually just not plan too much, to actually kind of just speak from the heart, and kind of whatever sort of topic transpires as you do your talk, and that's what comes out. That's what you have. So that's what I'm going to do today. Doesn't mean you can't have a loose, structured plan. So I've been thinking about a few topics and things this morning. So having a plan is sometimes can be a bit of a problem. When if you think loosely, what Ajahn Brahm kind of likes to describe suffering as. He says, suffering is expecting from the world what it can never give. And so this sort of suffering is very linked to planning, because planning has this kind of element of desire in it. It's you want something, you want an outcome, and you put in all this effort and resources to hopefully make this plan come to fruition. And the trouble with plans is that they don't always come to fruition. The more effort you put into them, and the more control you put into them, the more likely you may have an outcome. But if you don't have that outcome that's intended, then you have this kind of dissatisfaction at the end of it. And there's all sorts of planning we have in our lives. From my experience, it never stops. From the kind of moment you're kind of born, basically, until you can start thinking for yourself and you start having these desires and wants. And these are the things, this kind of wanting from the world what it can never give, desires. And having too many desires, or desires that are too great, you're just setting yourself up for disappointment. So having few desires, or lowering your expectations, is one way that you're not going to get disappointed. And when you don't get disappointed, then you're more likely to be happy. And this is kind of one of the kind of the ways we can have a happy life and be free from suffering. You may have heard the term Nirvana or Nibbana. There's a rock band that even had that name. And this word is, one way to look at this word, Nirvana, is to just basically think about the state of non-suffering, or having a little dissatisfaction in life. And the way to do that, again, is by having a few desires or setting your plans to easy, achievable targets. So therefore, when I do this talk, I don't do much planning. I thought about that today. I thought, well, that's what I'll talk about. Yeah, having plans and how they end up leading to disappointment. I had all these sorts of plans as a child to be this and to be that. I had no idea I'd end up being a monk. I had no idea that would happen. I had all sorts of plans to have many material things, Harley Davidsons. I managed to achieve some of those things, and cars and fast cars and trucks and a family with children and a happy wife, a happy husband. I had a crack at those things. They're very difficult. So I take my hat off to anyone out there that can achieve that and manage to kind of stay happy. It's quite a challenge. So these plans, when you lower your plans, then you have more chance of lower your expectations. You have more chance of not falling short of any expectations. So you can lead a much happier life. The same goes with your meditation. If you don't have too big a plan to reach nirvana in this sitting of meditation, then of course you're not going to be disappointed, because this is a task that's quite distant for most people, particularly if you want to live, in the world of sense desires, or the normal world that you might want to call it, where you have a job and family and children. You may not have a choice. You have those things on your plate already. You have an obligation, a commitment to family, children, home loans and stuff, and a job. So you do your best in your meditation to achieve peace, so that you can bring that peace with you to the rest of your life and affect the others that are around you, so that you don't cause them suffering, so that you're less grumpy. And when you have that sort of demeanour, that you're less grumpy, you're a nice person to be around, then obviously you're not going to cause too many people suffering, or yourself. You can lead a very happy life. So to do the meditation, and you want to have some results, then try not to put too many plans in place. The more plans you put in place, the more expectations you put in place, then you're going to have more disappointments. You may have read lots of books on how to meditate. You might think, oh, this is pretty easy. That's what I thought. And excuse me. And I found out that it wasn't easy to achieve some of these deeper states of meditation, because these deeper states of meditation come about through wanting. They don't come about through wanting. They come about through letting go. So you may read about these deeper stages of meditation, nimittas, even stuff like beautiful breath, and let alone jhanas and beyond. So when you do your meditation, you kind of get out of the way and you just let things happen. You let things be. You make peace with whatever the present moment brings to you. So whatever the present moment brings, may it be whatever the bodily sensations you have, or through to whatever mind sensations and mind objects come into place. So I'll lead you through some meditation now, and so just keep that in mind for your meditation. Let's keep it simple. Just keep in mind that the less wanting you have, and the less disappointment you're going to have with your meditation. So whatever happens in this meditation, just be happy to be here, and just lower your expectations. So whatever happens, you're content with, or whatever it may be. You may get very, very peaceful, and that's great. You may not be very peaceful at all. You may have a lot of stuff going through your head. But the kinder you are to those objects that come into your head, thought objects, feelings, emotions, and what have you, the kinder you are to them, then after a while, the mind, it realizes how kind you are to be in the presence of. And your mind eventually starts to relax, and it wants to hang out with you. So let's give it a try. Let's give some meditation a try. Let's get comfortable first, then we'll take it from there. So if you need to adjust your body position, please do so. I'm going to just swap my legs around. There we go. All right. So we've got roughly 15 minutes left. So I like to start the meditation by closing my eyes. And just by closing my eyes, how wonderful that is. It sends a signal that this is meditation time. As soon as my mind realizes this is meditation time, there's a flood of emotion. That's the first thing I notice, is that, wow, I can do some meditation. In some ways I can just let go of giving this talk and just set myself to autopilot. Let the words come out. I've done this so many times before. And just enjoy the meditation. That's the first thing I notice when I close my eyes, is this joy, this bliss that comes up in the mind. It's time to just meditate, time to let go. I'm happy to receive whatever comes into my body or my mind. So with the eyes closed, you're basically shutting out one of the 5 sense doors, or the 5 senses. And we don't have to do much more with that sense door of sight. We can let it go. Pretty easy. Close your eyes, just watch what sensations come up. And like I just explained a moment ago, the sensation came up for me was this joy, bliss. This feeling, this emotion came over me as soon as I closed my eyes. So I can move on to the next of the 5 senses. I'll actually go to the next 2, smell and taste. Because it was some time ago that I ate, I had a small bowl of cereal for breakfast. So the work of my taste and smell sensations was done and finished with over a couple of hours ago. So there's a null sense input there, nothing to see there. So I move on to the next of the 5 senses, the sense of sound. I take the time to observe what is coming in through the ear sense door. What's coming in through the ear sense door? Just a few little sounds. The lovely, warm sound of the fire crackling behind me. The sound of our family of friendly magpies outside, who are also appear to be happy to be here, just singing along. I love those guys. May you be well and happy, my friendly family of magpies. And down in the valley below, you can also hear other birds and things. Probably other families of magpies. They all tend to have their own little hangout place. So the ear sense door. What's coming in through your ear sense door? I used to live on a main road, so I used to have the bus the big Transperth buses that come past to collect people, and quite a noisy bus come past at 50 kilometres an hour, maybe about less than 10 metres from my bedroom window. When I first moved in, I thought, gee whiz, this is a noisy place, this bus is going to annoy me. But it didn't take me long to just make peace with that bus. And then after a while, the sound became so familiar that it essentially disappeared. It didn't physically disappear, it was still there. I would see it sometimes, but I just didn't hear it anymore. This is the same with your meditation. If you do have sounds that are unpleasant, you have no control over stopping them. It's not like your eyes where you can close your eyelids, stop the sensory input. The ears are always open to sound. So what do you do with the sounds that are unpleasant or you don't want them to be there? Well, the first thing to do is you stop that wanting of it not to be there. This wanting is desire. And as I said before, dissatisfaction, unhappiness, suffering comes about through wanting from what the world can never give you. And wanting sounds that you have no control of to stop. That's suffering. So make peace with those sounds. Allow them to be there. And when you have that sort of kindness to the sounds around you, they'll be kind back to you. And the mind just puts them into the background. After a while, when you have that kindness and friendliness to it. This is unconditional kindness. This isn't making a deal with the sound or with your mind. Like I'll be kind to you, sound, for the next 60 seconds. And if you're not gone away by then I'll be upset again. No, it's just unconditional kindness. Allowing that sound to do whatever it wants to do. The kindness that you give to the sounds, to your mind, this is the key. This is letting go. This is not wanting. Allowing things to be. So we move to the next, to the five senses, the body. And if it's not comfortable, if you have an itch, give it a scratch. We spend a little bit of time doing a body sweep meditation, getting the body comfortable. Taking a few moments to notice the sensations in the body. As you start with my feet, and I just feel around, and they're a bit cold. It's just my body. I always have this kind of poor circulation in my feet. That's why I wrap my feet up in my robe, keep them warm. The rest of my body is fine. So I'll just take a bit of time to just send some kindness to my feet. If there's something I can do to make them warmer, I do so. If there's nothing you can do, then you just send kindness. May you be warm, may you be happy feet. And you move that awareness through the rest of the body, up through the soles of the feet to the ankles, moving along the calf muscles, just noticing any sensations, any tightness, any kind of tension. If you notice anything like that, then if there's something you can do about it to make it more relaxed, then shift the body into a more comfortable position. Moving from the calf muscles up to the knees. Again, asking your knees, how do you feel? That kind of coolness, coldness, I can feel that through my knees as well. So just sending warmth there with my mind. Just imagining that they're warming up. Sometimes this actually makes a difference. So, moving along through the large muscles in the upper legs, into the hips, and from the hips into your tummy. Ask your tummy, how does it feel? My tummy tells me it's happy. I had some food earlier on. It's very content. Just noticing any sensations you have in the tummy. Sometimes it's hard to notice what it feels like inside your tummy, unless you have a pain there, wind or gas. Not really a lot of sensation to notice. So we move along to the breath, the lovely breath, which has brought a lot of people's meditation a lot of joy. The breath is the object the Buddha himself used when he became enlightened, sitting under the Bodhi tree watching the breath. With the meditation technique that Ajahn Brahm likes to teach his disciples, it's the same thing, meditation on the breath, anapanasati. This is where you just watch the breath and just notice the sensations in the breath. And as the mind becomes more peaceful, what you tend to find is that breath can transform. It starts to disappear and becomes the beautiful breath. So look out for that later on in the meditation. Lastly, moving the awareness up through the shoulders, down through the arms, elbows, wrists and hands and fingers. And lastly, moving your awareness up into the neck. If you like a little wiggle. Let the creaks and crackles and pops flow through. This is being kind. And finally move that awareness up into the head, around to the front of your face, eyes and mouth, just noticing any sensations there. And these are the relaxation of the five senses. So with the body as relaxed as it can be, we can now put the body down, put the body to one side, let go of the body, and very kindly, very gently move our awareness to the sixth sense, moving our awareness inside into the mind. How does it feel inside your mind? What do you see? So for the last 5 minutes of the meditation, I leave you with your mind. Please be kind to your mind. Allow it to do what it wants to do. Your task is just to hang out with your mind like a good friend. Be by its side. The rest of the meditation, I'll be silent. At the end of the meditation, I'll ring the gong 3 times. finish the meditation, just have a look, one last look at your mind. And if you notice any peace come up through the meditation or at the moment, please remember to value that meditation, value that peace. It's a very precious jewel. I'm now going to ring the gong 3 times. Please wait until the last ring of the gong before coming out of meditation. Thank you everybody for joining us here at Bodhinyana Great Southern in Albany, Western Australia, beside the ocean. Have a wonderful day. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.